Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Rachel Maddow. Now, there's been a lot of conversations about how the media and Democrats would react after the results came out and Donald Trump won. Will they receive it graciously or gracefully? We didn't know. Well, we had our suspicions. Let's listen to this video and then give our reactions.
But let me also point out something more strange, which has been happening at the same time and it hasn't had as much attention. The day before Trump made those remarks on Friday, he said, "You're never going to have to vote again after you vote for me this one time." The day before that, on Thursday last week, he didn't say that people wouldn't have to vote anymore once he was elected this November. Now, the day before that, on Thursday, he told his supporters, not that they're not going to have to vote again, but that they don't have to vote this time. That they don't need to vote for him this November.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
Yeah, so Rachel Maddow hasn't learned her lesson. She still goes around taking snippets of Trump's words and making them say whatever she wants them to say, and then looks into the camera at her audience and talks to them like they're 3-year-olds, because only a 3-year-old would believe what she just did. She basically listened to a whole statement. Anyone with half a brain would see that Trump was exaggerating as usual, simply saying, "We have so many votes, we don't need any more." It's like saying, "Hey, don't worry about it, we're winning." And then she says, "Look, Trump cheated." That is so weird.
He said that on Thursday last week. And it turns out this is something, when you look, he says this all the time now. Watch.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
We don't need votes. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. We don't need votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes.
Don't worry about voting.
The mainstream media has been flummoxed about how come Kamala Harris lost the election. This is why. They thought they were talking to 3-year-olds. They thought that people didn't see the 7 years, actually 8 years, of calling Trump racist, Nazi, that he was going to start World War III. They accused him of virtually everything under the sun. It worked the first time, but I don't think it worked this time. Everyone has seen through all of the stupidity that they've been spewing for the last 8 years. It's really been stupidity, honestly. You can't continue to tell the same lies over and over again and expect people to believe you. Yes, Rachel Maddow grew up in an era where there was no technology like Twitter, Facebook, social media, YouTube, where people could be fact-checked in real time, where they could say something and those videos could be held up against the actual footage that they were claiming, prompted their editorial. And eventually, the truth was out. They were basically lying all this time. And then the one that basically unmasked them was Biden's situation, where they were all in on it. They all said Biden is sharp as a tack, and they all repeated it verbatim across mainstream media. And then when he collapsed in front of the whole world, they flipped overnight and converted a candidate, actually the vice president, who was said by them to be the most unpopular vice president the world had ever seen. She became the best thing since sliced bread. So Rachel Maddow, keep at it. In fact, look, anyone out there with a conservative platform, please encourage them to keep doing what they're doing, because they are basically helping conservatives stay in control and clean up the mess that they've been creating. Let's keep watching.
Of all the weirdness around this campaign, this is a truly strange thing to tell people, right? Don't vote. I don't need your vote. I don't want your vote. I mean, all the surface level weirdness is, worth noting. Having a new position on literally anything you can think of as soon as any random rich guy tells you to, that's a weird thing. Picking the eccentric billionaire's intern for your running mate, even though you apparently had no idea who he was or what a disaster he is on television, all of this is weird. But telling voters, do not bother to vote for me, it doesn't matter if you do, I don't need your votes. That is a thing that should prick up your ears. Because what that means is that he doesn't think he needs to win the vote to win the election. He doesn't think he needs to win the election in order to take power. He thinks something other than votes is going to determine whether or not he gets back in the White House.
Well, we've listened to her. She said her piece. Trump won. Let's see what the next 4 years would look like. We pray for Trump that he would help America get back on its feet. And the world would be put back on track to a peaceful and prosperous existence by the grace of God. Already, we are hearing that that Russia is posturing for peace talks. Vladimir Zelensky is going to be on a phone call with Trump to start conversations around ending the war. I believe that's basically the conversation that's going to be happening. And there's a lot of changes, that we're hearing in the background. Hamas has called for a ceasefire, and Trump isn't in office yet. Look, all of this, points towards good news, but pray for Trump. Let's not get overconfident. Let's not think that everything is fine and there's nothing more to be done. We do know that there are people out there who want to do him harm. He has already survived 2 assassination attempts. Now that he is the president-elect, what would these people want to do in order to keep him from being sworn in? This is important. So anyone out there who prays, pray for him and trust God for his safety and the safety of his family so that he can move forward and do what needs to be done to get things in order. Well, thanks for listening to this. And don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. And YouTube thinks this video up here will be a great one for you to watch.